Hey guys, thought I'd take you through my settings and my basic setup on a daily gaming basis with Stalker 2 right now. Um, I like to let people know how I'm doing things, I like to be honest and things, so um, just start out with my system. 32 gig of RAM, 6000 megahertz, AMD Ryzen 5 76 core processor, Windows 10 still, but whatever, RTX 3080, and I've got inbuilt sound, of course, because there's literally no reason to get a audio card from what I can tell. And if there was, I'd probably get it. So I'll go through graphics, my graphics settings, custom. Right, so I've got a 3080. It's got 10 gigabyte. I need to upgrade. Period at the end, but the next sensible upgrade for me is the 79 XTX. Or is it the 5070 Ti? I'm going to be coughing up 450 cash, well, 750, between 7 to 800 I think, or I might get lucky and get one second hand for 600 on a 79 XTX, but I doubt it. If I was going to spend that much money, 600 quid to 7 to 8, I would not buy a second hand card. It's too much money to put on a second hand card. 300 to 400 quid, I might get a second hand card, which is what I did with my RTX a couple of years ago. So this is my settings. Object details, epic, texture quality, epic. Everything's on high, apart from those two. I brought motion blur strength down 50%. This is the area where you might be getting flim-flammed on your footage. Set it to DLSS if you're on NVIDIA 30 or above. If you're on NVIDIA 20 series, there might be a variation just here, right? Now there's one of them that's the bee's knees, which is not DLSS. This is where you'll make or break your footage with the game settings. That's what I'm saying. So shading quality, shaded, right? So this is where the probably the most CPUs used, but I wouldn't know. So if anybody's going to tips on what I could turn down here and get away with to get a boost, I'm all ears. So I can't even find anything on Stalker 2 Reddit or anything like this about what things here you can turn down and get away with, and it won't affect the game, but it'll give you a boost. So that's about it. I can run an epic with these settings, but when you start recording the footage, adios. So, my mods. Let me just shut this down or we're going to get background noise all day. Sunny weather pack. Try and record videos during the clear sunny weather. Don't record stuff at night time unless it's specifically set up. You can record what you want, right? But I'm saying you want people to be able to see what you see. And when you've got sunny weather, you're also getting like a 10 frames per second boost, 20, because it's not processing all the lighting effects. Real life loading screen, so I get pictures of Pripyat and Chernobyl properly. Silent pause menu comes in handy. Optimized tweaks base, get that. Bottle shot with burp, of course. Cinematic bullet impact, sorry. This makes the fights look better. English zone, highly recommend that. Everything you can see is like English now, you're not going what when you look at the walls. This is a good one too, impacts. I did a new game start, so you can see my says location card on Rookie Village, rank master, loadout default medium, money start 2000 faction loner, enable journalist stash quest. I think on vanilla Stalker you only get 2 journalist stashes. You get the orange armor and some kind of modded Vintar or something. Real death animations, so that the guys don't just drop like fucking Lego bricks. Spawn tools, like again, I say, you highly recommend that. Spawn tools. Vortex deployment 5 suitable mod type. Z Altec, some McLean better gunfights, no aimbot. Now all that's compatible. And why you want this is because you don't want to get aimbotted as soon as you start trying to record footage, do you? It gives you breathing space, like a second or two more, but you can still get fucking plowed over if you don't pay attention. And then I started using Vortex, and I'd highly recommend you do it too. So, as you can see, if you come to Nexus Mods, I want this one because I was doing footage yesterday, and I had 4 bloodsuckers, and I put them on master, so they were like, you know, I rank whatever, and it was pointless. It just broke the footage. The bloodsuckers were just like running up the steps to me, because what I tend to do to deal with bloodsuckers is either point blank them like you're supposed to, or I funnel them into an area where they're going to come through a doorway or something like this, so that I'm on crouched, so when they come at me I can just go up them. You don't always get the headshot, but you know, you're going to get rid of a bloodsucker. It's not that easy, is it? So this should make them visible. So all I'll do now, because I've got Vortex installed, I give it permission to access my browser, and then just click slow download, because I'm a peasant, I'm not paying you $600 a month or whatever it is. Bloodsucker and Snork, and I think it affects the jump height of the Snork. So when you're playing, man, sometimes the Snork will just do this arced jump, like, and you go, and you got to put all your aim off, and it can break the immersion, right? You're trying to look tactical, you know, tactical. You know what I'm saying? So there's that, and I got a few other mods from Steam that don't appear on here, and you can do this too, as long as your thing's on Steam, I guess. Excuse me. So I got the tactical mod, so it makes the gun look smaller, but I think it looks better rather than this gun filling the entire screen. And I got a couple of others, like the carrier bag. That's for humor purposes, for that character that I'm doing. And yeah, I tried Crazy Dutch reshade. I don't normally do reshades, but that one's making my stuff look a little bit different, right? I got teleport too, but it doesn't work. I've got to have visit USS or something installed, and when I put it on, it crashes my game. So I can't fast travel at the moment, so I got to use the console. And you're definitely going to have to use console, okay? Is it there? Oh, I don't know. So this is what you'd do. You'd come here, your console's enabled, and now you can start setting up battles how you want. You can start setting up stashes how you want, saving, quick saving. And there's been times I've set up battles, and I set up the battle so I could have fun. What I found when I was playing Stalker 2 was I'd go to an area and go, right, get footage, and there's no one there. And then there was only like a few areas where things were happening, fights, battles, and I was like, this ain't gonna work. You know, you're on stock footage here, you're on stock battles, and you don't need that. So that's, like I said, I had to learn to use the spawning tools. So, you know, you want a boomstick, just copy that. Don't go past the 1. Stay within the X. Hit the console up. Control V. Hit enter. And it's the same with all this other stuff. Like, I mean, you know, you could just go for it and get what's it called now? Gas gun. But you're just one-shotting everything. I think even the Chimera, you might be able to take it down about 5, but you're only going to get that footage once or twice and it's done, you know? So you'd have to figure out how to use these tools available to you for your footage, and then I'd recommend when you spawn in a weapon, be near a technician. So you need to be over near Pripyat or Yanov to make sure you're getting all the upgrades. But if you want me to take you through the mod spawner, how I set up a battle, and I set up battles for my own enjoyment, and then I just get the footage, and if somebody likes it, they like it, you know. I've had some real cool battles, man. I got footage yesterday and uploaded the video, Red Forest footage, and it just, my settings in OBS tanked it. It made it look rough. I went, well, I'm not uploading that because I'm watching it in 2K and it looks rough. So you got to get your settings right here. Do all that, but then get it right here. That's what I got there, basics. Base canvas 2560, output 2560. Output, streaming, I'm not streaming, so you better, you know, come into it. Make sure you select advanced here, so it all comes up. If you're on a 30 card or above, you want the video encoder there. But I don't think I'm using these settings right now. I think they're just using some of them. So all my footage comes out of that because I'm going off this. So this is where you'll make or break your footage. This annoying little area here. I've been on a single pass. Apparently, it's been on 2 passes. That will just tank your video when you play back your video and you put it on ultra high quality. It's tanked it. You got to leave it there. Preset, slowest, best quality. Keyframe interval 0 seconds. I'm not sure what that means. Right? But I set it to 0 because this other guy was doing 0. Constant QP, the lower the better, but the more it'll chug your frame rate. So people normally will set it to 18, but you said you can go lower. So just today, I don't know what it does, but I'm going to go to 15. Rate control, CQP. I think lossless will just rip your frames apart. So it's like you're not going to get footage if it can't process it. Main, look ahead, adaptive quantization. I can't even pronounce that. Quantization. B-frames 2. Again, I don't know what that means, but everybody I've seen has 2 if they're getting good footage. B-frame as reference disabled, so I don't know really. Okay, so your audio, if you're gonna do like a character or you just want to talk while you're doing a video, you're gonna have to get a gaming headset or a mic, condenser mic that arcs over your desk, which I think I probably will end up getting. But I noticed that my audio in videos was low, even though I'd done what I was supposed to do. I can probably tweak the audio even better. So I got a G432 gaming headset, cost me 45 quid. You know, probably not the best at all, but no settings, advanced audio properties, audio input capture. And I got told when you're speaking normally like this, if you peak into the red like that, I don't want to be probably going any higher than 10 decibels. I probably want to come down 2 decibels, but you're gonna have to boost it. You're gonna have to boost it, man, if you want to be heard properly. So it just seems to be working a lot better for me, just straight setting it to 10 decibels, even though I'm peaking here. The red peak normally causes like a, but I don't know, man, it just seems to be working. And filters. Method, noise suppression, good quality, more CPU usage, RNN noise. There's another one that I can add that I used to use. I don't know which one it is. I've no idea, to be honest. I just know that should be on to help any noise feedback. Also, I got my mic on the here. You hear that? I can switch it up, turns it off, dead. I'm down. So sometimes I've been doing a silent video and I've left it down and I'll drop an F-bomb or whatever and I start getting mad because I'm trying to capture footage and the AI is doing all kinds of wonderful things. But that's about my setup, man. Next level setup for me, man, is I basically need a 50% boost on a graphics card. But you know, it's like what mere mortal can afford. Is it, like I say, 7 to 850, innit? You know, it's like, you're a sub £1,000 graphics card peasant. I'm like, yeah, no shit. So anyway, yeah, if you want to do footage like I've been doing, this is basically how I'm rolling. And, you know, you can start enjoying the game more, I think, because even if you just use the free roam mod and then learn to use the spawn tools to set up custom fights, it's just more enjoyable. And the thing is, I've put spawn stuff into the environment and left it there, pissed off and done a bunch of other stuff for a couple of days, come back and it's still all there, all the stuff. So basically you're doing you're playing army, you're playing soldiers, aren't you? You're setting up your little soldiers for fights. That's what you're doing. There's other like tricks and methods, but you know, for now that's pretty much it. Like today I've got to make sure that my bitrate is on properly. Just like I said, this is really where you're going to make a break. This is where you're really going to make a break. Decent footage. It has to look smooth, you know, 60 frames per second at all times. I think I push anywhere between 70 to 95. Usually around 70 to 80. But from what I can tell, if you want to get constantly decent footage in Stalker 2, whatever shader you're using, whatever method, if you're just recording main missions or you're just playing the game normally, but you want good footage, you need about 90 FPS constant. So for me, I need the 79 XTX or the I don't even think the 79 XTX will guarantee me those frames, which is I'm not spending that much money unless I know I'm going to get a boost like that. I honestly think it'd be doing better with a 79 GRE or a GRE. I think in some cases even a 68 XT would still outperform a 3080. But you know, better to go look online and see if anybody's running a similar rig. You know, and then you can see what kind of footage you're going to get before you buy it. If they'll tell you their PC specs or something. But anyway, yeah, that's how I roll. And today I'm trying out the, I'm trying to get the weather absolutely clear skied. I'm still just getting clouds. Another quick tip: if you put a mod on here and it screws you over, or it's just something's going glitchy or anything like that, like sometimes for me, I don't know what it is. It's the Cora. Night Stalker and the Freeline Rifle. Sometimes they'll just screw up, you know? Like I put a mod on from Steam for these sights, which really made my footage stand out, but it broke the upgrade menu when I took the gun in to upgrade it. So I don't know why, but I can't upgrade the Corda anymore or the Freeline Rifle. Why? I don't know. Contact the mod author. Sometimes they'll reply, sometimes they won't. But that's just an example. Like I ain't had much knack up, but that I got a conflict there. So I'm currently trying to find out if anybody knows. Like a simple upgrade that I want to do is take the Freeline Rifle and just make it as powerful when it starts as the 701. That's it. And then I want to take something like the AR, which is, or the surf mode AR rifles, which I think look really good for combat footage. But if you're going to be fighting a Persuader giant, or even a Chimera if you're crazy enough, but if you're going to fight a Persuader giant with like the AR fully upgraded, it's going to take you 20 clips. Nobody wants to watch it. I fought the two Persuaders with the fully upgraded K-Rod and the grenade launcher, and you can see how long it took. You can see how long it took. So remember, your footage shouldn't drag on, right? Or you're going to get boring footage. You want to, in my opinion, set up, go in, battle, win, be victorious. And some of the stuff I've uploaded, I showed you how my dude got killed. So some of the best footage I got is with my dude getting wiped out. So you still get pooned. And another thing about the spawn tools, you can set your enemies to a team A or team B if you want to do that. I haven't had to do that yet. But you can set their AI from noob to like master. But when I've done a test on the guys, like say the Persuader giant, I'll take a rocket launcher, spawn two in, put a health bar on them. I've belted them with a rocket launcher, one on novice, one on master level. The energy's still coming off the same. So little things like that you will have to address. And is it Yanev or Apragum? I can't pronounce all these crazy Ukrainian Englishy words. I set up a pretty big fight there, but the anomalies, the fire spitting anomalies in the pit, they were tanking the FPS, so I couldn't get footage. I had 20 dogs, 4 bloodsuckers, a deer, and a bunch of fleshes, and I don't know why, but I spawned in military guys, military fighters, and I made them my ally, and 5 minutes into the fight, they're just turning on me, and I didn't even friendly fire them. I was like, thanks, dickheads. So it made the footage weird. You know what I mean? Like, was that supposed to be happening? So you've got to have consistency in your footage. It's got to be a constant. You've got to aim for immersion, and you've got to aim for believability and consistency, right? Because you're giving your audience something to watch. And you might want to figure out how to do YouTube Shorts. I've got 4 videos up on there. I didn't think anything had happened, and they've all got 1,000 views and no comments, which is I find a little bit odd, but hey. So it's like I could sit there and do shorts all day. I can do footage, you know what I mean? How I think people want to see it, and I'll get 1,000 hits a time. But the shorts don't transfer to your actual meat and veg of your main channel. So if you're thinking about all this stuff, doing all these things, this setup I got here is from 2 full playthroughs of Stalker normal. Then a third one, I started modding it. I was going, I'll get footage of the main missions and make them look really cool. And I did a pretty good job, but not really, you know what I mean? I wasn't getting hits. And then you've got to remember, I know it goes on, doesn't it? And on. All these thumbnails are designed to kind of manipulate your attention. So, for example, this here, 1.7 million views. Don't know how you got that many, but all right. You see how he's got an expression on his face? Well, that's the point, you see. So, setting, image, facial expression, that's apparently one of the ways to make thumbnails that draw people in. Clickbait, right? But I don't tend to do that. I just set up these thumbnails, and this is an area you're gonna have to progressively improve how you do them. So if you upload, you get this really good footage, and then you use a default image in there, it's gonna have black borders. It could be black there, but then have this squidgy image in the middle of some vague Stalker 2 image. Like I said, I'm still improving mine. I'm still learning how to do it because I'm not very good at Photoshop. I got everything I do in Photoshop, I got to check how to do it. Then follow a guide like Lego sets. But I think my thumbnail quality could be better quality, but you got to remember you're only going to be having 2 megabyte files, right? So to make that fit, these little boxes are more important than you think. So if I add all this footage up, right, but I just use the default thumbs, it's bullshit. No one's going to look at it. For some reason, my highest video is Stalker 2 Bread Factory Jupiter. This is standard. Exploring the Bread Factory Stalker 2, but then where is it? I don't know. Where is it? Where the fuck is it? Yeah, that one. You see, I couldn't see it. I was looking for it, wasn't I? So that probably needs bigger words. The thumbnail needs editing. So this thumbnail kind of versus this thumbnail. So there's something on that. It could be this little yellow tag here. There's something on that that's drawing the eye, and I think it's the lighting. So try and get your thumbnails very bright. Okay? Try and get your weapon in the light source. So you might want to learn how to move the time in the console. And you know, you can actually get really good footage at noon. But it's up to you. You're gonna have to figure it out. If you try to get good footage at noon in the Red Forest, you could be fighting your FPS a little bit. You might not be able to spawn in a fucking entire battalion. But I went over to Duga and I set up a big fight, like in the yard where you find the Cavalier. I set up like 3 Persuados, 1 Chimera, ton of rats, ton of dogs, a couple of deers, and I put like exoskeleton dudes down with my allies, and I put like 10 guys in. And then I set up on the roof, acting as like a sniper or whatever for footage. And I threw down an RPG, a light machine gun, fully upgraded. Because check this out, you spawn in a light machine gun, right? Fine. Now you're gonna have to put the ammo in. Which ammo are you gonna use? Standard, armor piercing, blah blah blah. And then you start firing that gun off, man, and it looks like shit. You're getting kickback off the weapon, right? And it's like you're trying to hit far outs with a light machine gun. It looks ridiculous, you know what I mean? So you've got to use it in a situation where it'd warrant it, you know what I mean? I'm not saying 5 bandits, right? You wouldn't use a light machine gun on 5 bandits. Well, you would, but the footage is going to be over real quick. So it could be a shot, I guess. But basically what I've just told you there is stuff that I've figured out in the last couple of months, and from 2 playthroughs, 100 hours plus on Stalker 2, trying to get good footage. And I've learned that to get good footage, you've got to set up your stage. You've got to do it yourself to get better fight footage. It's easy if you've got a 90x 3D in it and a 4090 or a 5090. You know, it'll just take care of itself. But I ain't got that much money, so this is how I'm rolling. Anyway, I hope the video was helpful, and yeah, keep checking out the channel, man, because this is my hobby. I don't watch TV, right? I might use my computer for 2 hours a day or something. And that's about all I do. In between having a life, or what I got. Yeah, so today I'm working on footage, for example, of I'm going to try out the bloodsucker mod like I showed you. Bloodsucker and snark. So the bloodsucker is going to be constantly visible, and then the snark's going to stop doing that jump. I'm going to go see if it improves my footage somehow, a little bit at a time. So, and I've got a fully staged battle coming up in the Red Forest, which is going to be good footage, I think. So yeah, if there's anything else I can help you with, let me know and I will. And yeah, that's how the flea rolls, man. So check out.